Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of This Week in the XFL. I'm your host, as always, the referee representing XFL Newsroom. Ooh, that's right, the number one source in XFL news. And we have a huge week for you this week. There's a lot of things to go over. We had the XFL Supplemental Draft. We had the release of the XFL official game balls. That's right, multiple balls, a ball for each team. We'll get to that a little bit later. We have some other coaching news and some other things to talk about. But before we get started, we wanted to remind everybody we have a giveaway going on. You can win 2 tickets to any XFL game this season. You got to get yourself there. We don't provide the transportation, but we will get you the tickets so you can enjoy the game. All you got to do is like, comment, subscribe, and click the link down in the description for the Discord and get up to at least a backup status. And if you do all of those things and you're already subscribed, every other video that you like and comment on counts as another entry. So sign you up and good luck. So the first story we're starting off with today, it sounds like the XFL is reportedly close to a deal with Starter. Right now, if you remember, Starter made the jerseys for the Alliance, the AAF, before they went defunct a little bit over halfway through the season. This deal is a little bit different, right? So the deal that they're reportedly close to is for off-field gear, right? So this isn't for your jerseys, but this is maybe for jackets and other consumer wearables, things of that nature. And quite honestly, I'll tell you what, back in the day, I had a couple of those Starter jackets, at least back in the early 90s. Maybe I'm dating myself here, but I had a Michigan Wolverines, I had the Red Wings, a Lions one, and I wouldn't mind having a Houston Roughnecks ones for the days that it's maybe not as warm as it could be in Houston this February. So I'm excited there. Now, it also says that the league is working on a different deal with a different company for their on-field gear, right? So we've heard that it may be Adidas, at least going back to the potential Tampa Bay Vipers jersey leak that came out a while back. But we haven't heard much on that yet. We're getting closer. You know, Commissioner Luck mentioned during that press conference last week that we should see them probably within the next 3 weeks. He said in the press conference that we would see them before the holidays. Again, he didn't specify Thanksgiving or Christmas, but Thanksgiving has come and gone, and honestly, we have a lot to be thankful for with the game balls, but we'll talk about that a little bit later here. But hey, let us know your thoughts. What do you think of Starter? Honestly, I think it's pretty cool. Again, if they roll out some of those retro jackets, I'll be signed up all day and night. You know, so we talked about this last week. It was about to kick off right before the episode aired on Friday, but the XFL held their supplemental draft, right? So basically the jig was this, is every team had as many picks could make as many picks as they wanted until they fulfilled their 70-man roster, right? So basically there has been some churn on some of the teams, but something interesting happened prior to the draft. We actually had 3 more quarterbacks assigned to teams. So we have Josh Johnson to the Wildcats, Chase Litton to the Dragons, and Tyler Henneke to the Battlehawks. And I know a lot of those names people were happy about. Josh Johnson's an interesting one. We'll talk about him a little bit later here, but he's a journeyman across the NFL. He's been to a lot of teams. There was some speculation early on, before any of the tier 1s were announced, that he may be one of those tier 1s. Now, again, we don't know if this assignment is a tier 1 status. Maybe it's a tier 2. Maybe there's another tier. There was no real specification other than they were assigned to each of these teams. So again, we mentioned each team can make as many picks as they wanted until they got to that 70-man roster. So it looks like the Renegades made 10 picks, the Defenders 13 picks, Houston made 7, LA 10, New York 9, Seattle 9. Seattle, very low, only 3 picks, and Tampa Bay, another low one with 5 picks. And you can check out the full results over at xflnewsroom.com. which you should be doing daily for all the latest news, so sign you up there. Now, we mentioned a little bit of a tidbit with Josh Johnson, right? So shortly after he was at least announced as a assigned quarterback for the Wildcats, it started being reported that it looked like the Detroit Lions were trying to pick him up, and he was blocked by the XFL. Now, I think a lot of the publications are making a bigger deal out of this than there really should be, because he's signed to a contract. Of course he's going to be blocked from going. The XFL is a professional league. The Lions did have a chance to sign him. He was signed to the practice squad earlier this season, and they decided to part ways, which led to the opportunity of Josh Johnson coming to the XFL and now working with the Wildcats. But the Lions, if you aren't paying attention to the NFL or, really the Lions, because why would you? They're in a bit of a predicament. So their man, Matthew Stafford, the golden god, the quarterback of men, he's hurt. He's out. They might want to play him early, which I think is silly. I think they should just rest him for the rest of the season. Driscoll, he's injured now. That was the backup. So they're in a bit of a predicament at the quarterback. But, that's the Lions for you. If they weren't, if they were good, that would be the surprise. It's unfortunate because I am a Lions fan. I've been trying to restore the roar for too many decades at this point. But, once you get to a certain point in your life, at least as a Lions fan, you realize that maybe one day, but I'm not going to count on it anytime soon. And this is just another one of those things that this would happen to the Lions, right? The XFL beat them out, which again, I love. I'm an XFL fan probably more than I am a Lions fan. I've been a Lions fan my whole life, and I think we won one playoff game. So, restore the roar. Good luck there, Matt Patricia, or, really good luck on another team. I'm glad to see that the XFL's contracts are holding water, because if you remember, if you're an AAF fan, you might remember, it might be a little bit of a nightmare. That league was in a very similar situation just last year prior to their league kicking off. They had signed Josh Johnson. He was assigned to the San Diego Commanders, right? But then he signed with the Washington Redskins. He ended up actually playing a game with them. But needless to say, he didn't play a down for the Alliance. Well, the XFL has learned from, the AAF's mistakes, their own mistakes, all of the Spring League's mistakes, and they learn we need solid contracts. Now, again, Johnson will become available after the championship game, but he's held to the league for now, and I'm excited about that. It's good to see that the contracts are holding water. We're not going to be losing our guys mid-season, other than maybe an injury, but, knock on wood that doesn't happen to anybody, because nobody likes to see that in a game. But hey, sign us up. Let us know what you think. Are you on the positive side that thinks it's good that the XFL stopped it from happening? Or do you think that maybe sheds worse on the league, maybe not cooperating with the NFL? I've seen both opinions. Again, I think it's good that he's still with the league. I think it shows the importance of the XFL, right? And it also shows that they mean business this time around. But hey, let us know down in the comments, or if you're feeling like having a good time, click the link down in the description for the Discord and join a bunch of other like-minded XFL fans like you and me. So last weekend, Houston Roughnecks head coach and general manager June Jones headed up north to the Grey Cup to go see his former team, the Ticats, play, right? Basically go watch him play in the championship. Well, now it's being reported that he may have been there for some business as well. So according to Farhan Laji of TSN, the sports network, basically Canada's ESPN, it sounds like he may have been poaching some coaches while he was at that game as well. So it sounds like the offensive line coach, Dennis McKnight, for the Ticats, is now accepted a role with the Houston Roughnecks. It doesn't say what that role is. And again, this is just according to this report. But it sounds like Jeff Reinhold has also been offered a position. Now, he hasn't accepted yet. Now, both of these guys have, some close ties to June Jones. Not to mention that June was the head coach of the Ticats last year, started out as the assistant coach, took over after an 0-8 record, kind of brought the team back, at least got them into the playoffs the following year. He ended up stepping down, leaving for the Roughnecks earlier this year, and now it seems like he's taking his pick of the guys that he has on that coaching staff still. Now again, this hasn't been officially announced, but this is what is being reported by Farhan of the Sports Network. But it's interesting to see, right? So again, sign up the Roughnecks, hashtag rough 'em up, working for H-Town. Nice to see some extra moves, some shaking and moving in that holiday time. So, hey, on to the next story. So as you know, it was Thanksgiving yesterday, and I'm still full, but I'm about to get another meal after we record this. But there's a lot to be thankful for if you're an XFL fan this week. The XFL has officially revealed their game balls. And that's right, we're talking multiple game balls. There's one for each team. Each team has their own designated ball. And I think it's a really cool concept, actually, when you look at the fact that whenever a team is playing offense, that ball switches out. So there's not a home field advantage with the ball, which is what I kind of expected when I initially saw the different concepts. But I really like that. So imagine being a wide receiver. You looking out for that color, right? Again, if you're a Battlehawks, you see that blue and white coming at you, or the Renegades, that baby blue. The Houston Roughnecks, their colors are very similar to the XFL. I think those are the exact XFL logo colors on their ball, which makes it real sleek to me. But one thing that I thought was really cool, and this is, again, shows the XFL is doing the right things from every perspective here, is shortly before they announced the ball, you started seeing different promos of media figures receiving their official ball, and it was packaged like a Thanksgiving turkey. Now that's genius, right? That is a great way to get people to talk about your product. Basically, I saw everybody that received one, every different radio show, morning show, even columnists were posting their game ball in that turkey packaging. And again, I would love to have one of those. So if anybody's watching from the league, sign the ref up, hook a brother up. We're having some fun over here. If not, no worries. But I thought that was really cool. Again, I'm a marketing guy. I work in marketing outside of this because, again, I do have a day job. And I thought that was a really cool way to package this and get people talking on a week where, generally speaking, it's a holiday week. There might not be a lot of chitter chatter. Well, the XFL got their name out there beyond the initial announcement just by doing that intriguing, that cool, that different packaging to show, hey, look at us, guys. Beyond the creativeness of the ball, we're giving you something else to talk about here. So I'm signed up there, but the ball itself is not just a regular football, right? There's some cool different specifics to this ball that you wouldn't see in your regular everyday NFL or college ball or just any other real regulation ball. So first is the X-Pebble technology grip. And quite honestly, we noticed this in the past when they were doing the summer showcase. We kind of had a glimpse of the balls they were testing, which again are very similar to this, just minor, the team paint jobs and things like that. But that X-Pebble technology grip, we didn't know what the name of it was then, but we do know now. And again, it's patent pending. This is something that the league is trying to roll out, and I like that, right? And so when you look at some of the things that failed in the original XFL, one of those things was the game ball. Now, a lot of people were hoping to see that red and black ball return, but there's a big reason it's not. It was a slippery ball. It was hard to hold. If it got wet, it was impossible. You had certain teams sanding down their balls and leaving the other ones alone, so they had an advantage. Now with this grip, this patent pending grip that they're implementing in this ball, you don't have to worry about that. Now again, the ball's not black, but I think they look beautiful. I really like the specific designs for each team. I really like the X's on the tips of the ball. And everything else is pretty standard for regulation. It's the same size, weight, things like that. Now the balls have gone on sale at shop.xfl.com. And a lot of them, quite honestly, have been back ordered, which is a good sign for the league. People are interested. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to get one before they sold out. But the other thing people have been mentioning is the price, $125. And some people are a little upset at that. Now, again, something to keep in mind here is these are the authentic game balls. Now, if you compare that to, let's say, the NFL, I believe their official game ball is $99. Something you need to also think about is the XFL is working in a much smaller capacity. Now, as they grow and as their distribution grows, that price could come down. But the good news is if you're a season ticket holder, you have that discount code, which I think brings the ball down to about $99, so about that $100 mark. So in all reality, if you're that season ticket holder, you have the opportunity to get the ball a little bit cheaper, at least at the price that you would an NFL ball. But for the fans that really don't want to bite the bullet on this price, I would say hold off maybe a little bit longer. I'm sure they're going to have maybe a more dulled down replica for a cheaper price point. Again, something that we see with the NFL and the NCAA. But, you know, give it some time. And again, we're still a couple months out from kickoff. February 8th is still right around the corner. I'm excited. So, you know, again, we have two big items left. Is we have the official rule book. We have those team uniforms, the helmets, and they sound like they're right around the corner. We have a couple more weeks left. We have the mini camps coming up. We have the training camps in January, and then the moment we've all been waiting for, like I mentioned, February 8th, February 9th, 2020. Sign us up. It's going to be a good time. We're going to be having fun. Stay tuned to this channel. We're going to be adding more content, hopefully adding some more personalities. Check out xflnewsroom.com daily for all the latest content, because we're always there. We're the #1 source in XFL news for a reason. But before we let you go, if you didn't know, we're also on Facebook and Twitter. Give us a follow at XFL Newsroom. And you know what? You'll have a good time while you're doing it. And since we're on YouTube, make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell to see when we're dropping new videos. Some are going to be live and some are going to be pre-recorded, just like this one. So until next time, sign you up.